Back at you with another transmission video. We'll be talking about a little bit of info on the ax15. I already did a video on the Asian Warner automatic for the Jeep Cherokee. So if you ain't seen that video, go ahead and go back and check it out. It should be under this one on videos. So this is more for the Jeep nerds and people that want to know kind of about the transmission, what kind of fluid they take. So you know, the interchangeability. So if you guys want to see a video on the older Jeep Cherokee transmissions, the crappy ones, or the ax5, leave in the comments below. I'll also do a video on them because I'm not only going to do some Cherokee stuff on this channel, like talking wise, but we do Wranglers and TJs and stuff like that. Hopefully one day I can get my hands on a Wrangler and we can do a little bit to it. Anyway, let's go ahead and get back to the video here. I did do my research on this, and I do have notes up above, so if you see me looking up above, I'm not going crazy or reading offline. I did get a lot of my information offline, but a lot of people don't like to research and read about stuff, so I just combine it all together and make it into a video, so it's a lot better for you guys. So today we're going to be talking about the ax15 and interchangeability and the spine, you know, the shafts and the oils that it take, and in my opinion on it, and why I don't want it for trail riding. So let's go ahead and get started. The Asian Warner ax15 transmission is a very successful medium duty standard shift 5-speed transmission. It was introduced in 1988 mid-year. YJ Wrangler, XJ, the MJ, the Comanche, Jeeps, and found in 1988 to 1999 Jeep XJ, YJ, and TJ models. It's the only year in the ZJ, which is a Grand Cherokee, was 1993, and only with the 6-cylinder. Now 1993 Grand Cherokee actually came with the automatic Asian Warner 2. Well, not Asian Warner 2, but they come with the Asian Warner like your Cherokee does. That's the only year that they did, and I'm dying to get a hold of one because after 94, them Grand Cherokee transmissions are junk. ax15 found behind the AMC 258 and the Mopar 4.0, inline 6 that is. ax15 is also found in the Dakota trucks and is closely related to the Toyota R154. As found in the Super Turbo, is also referred as the AN5, the AR5, MA5, and a GM. And the Zuzu applications. So they're pretty much the same if they're four-wheel drive, they just have different names. ax15 was available in the two-wheel drive Jeep Cherokees and the MJs because they were in Toyota cars, the Supras and stuff, so they're pretty, they're a good transmission, don't get me wrong, for what at the end of this video what I'm going to talk about. The ax15 is a split case top shifting overdrive transmission with the shifter being located in the rear section of the transmission. The ax15 is fully synchronized in all gears. All gears are heli cut. Now the ax15, the four-wheel drive version we're talking about here, the four-wheel drive version of the Jeep ax15 has 23 spline output shaft for the connecting to the transfer case input shaft. This protrudes about a ½ inch past the rear face of the transmissions. 1988 to 1991 ax15 input shafts are smaller, have a smaller pilot tip, that is. And 1992 to 1995 have a larger pilot tip. Now the ax15 does look similar to the ax5. It does get confused, the ax15 with your Cherokee. So a lot of people get an ax5 and they blow out and they say, well, the ax15's junk. Well, here to come find out, they swapped the ax5 into the Cherokee or the Wrangler or whatever, and them things are pretty much junk. You couldn't go down the highway and grab second wide open and probably blow apart on you. My opinion, my experience that I've seen with them and stuff. Get me a drink. The Jeep ax15 was factory married to the Jeep New Process, aka New Venture Model 231 transfer case. Now pretty much every Cherokee comes with a 231 transfer case. It is possible to adapt the ax15 to the Jeep Dana 300 transfer case in passenger side and driver side drop by using, you can get on Novak adapter kits online. Go check out novakadapters.com. You can adapt these things to V8s, pretty much anything you want. So we're going to go ahead and talk about that right now. But all this stuff I'm talking about adapting the transmission, you can get onto novak.com or novakadapters.com. Marrying the ax15 to the MP207 transfer case, as found in earlier YJs and XJs, require the 207's longer input shaft be shortened with a hand saw. As the ax15 was married to the Jeep engines, OEM compatible with them, it can also be adapted to 1972 to 1991 AM6 and V8 engines. People hoping to replace the ax5 occasionally assumes the ax15 will replace it directly. The bell housing pattern and spline counts between these similar appearance transmissions are deceivably close but not compatible. The ax15 actually makes a very clean conversion to most GM engines because it's a stronger transmission and it is well matched for Chevy V6 and small block V8s, which are 350s and stuff like that. You can get an engine conversion kit for pretty much the YJs, TJs, XJs, and MJs on Novak website. And some of the Ford, you can adapt it to Ford. The X15 can be clearly adapted to the Windsor Ford V8 and the Ford Inline 6. Another thing we're going to talk about here is what kind of gear oil or whatever do you want to use in your AX15. The factory manual calls for 75W90 GL3 gear oil for the AX15 transmission, but it is experienced of some that used 50W fluid provides quicker shifts, and especially in colder climates. Me myself, I run 75W90 GL3 gear oil. That's just me. You can do some research and run what you want. It's your vehicle. The X15 is one of the good success for Jeep transmissions. They are generally regarded as the best 5-speed transmission ever installed into the Jeep. They are excellent gearbox, remain in production by Asian Warner, and are available from Novak, new in their most improved version. Alright, now we're going to talk about why I don't like it and why I don't want anything to do with the X15 when it comes to trail riding. I've seen these things blow out just as well as the AX5s, and I've seen other things where you lift them so high and you put you can put a transfer case drop and do all that crap, and when you torque them up and all that crap and you're doing some hardcore wheeling, I've seen people bust the bell housings over and over and over again, done everything to drop it and make it right. My personal opinion, I don't want a 5-speed when I'm going out trail riding. I'd rather take the Asian Warner, the AW4 over the 5-speed. That's just me. I do take my green one out every once in a while, but it's not my hardcore wheeler. My other Jeep's going to be the hardcore wheeler that I'm building now. So just keep that in mind. It's just kind of weird. People have different preference. Like I said, I prefer automatic when I'm trail riding. Let's talk about it from a maintenance side of things. If I have an automatic and I take it through mud, I'm just going to go through the mud, do a day of trail riding, maybe change the transmission filter and the fluid, automatic transmission fluid, done. That's about maybe a half hour tops if you're having good times with your buddies. Now if you're going out with a 5-speed, I don't care who you are, every time you take off, I don't care if it's at a red light, you slip a clutch. Now, people slip a clutch, like burn the clutch out because they don't know what they're doing. But every time you take off, you slip a clutch. That's how a clutch works. I don't care who you are. If you beg to differ, well, then how do you take off? If you don't slip your clutch, you're just going to slam on the gas, let out in the clutch, and go. So you do slip your clutch a little bit every once in a while. But when you're trail riding, climbing a rock, you're going to be slipping that thing a lot. You're going to go through a deep water, that clutch gets wet. It could decrease the life of the clutch. You have a chance of blowing out gears, but you have the chance of that in automatic. But like I said, I had good experience with the AW4s. Now a clutch job is not easy. It's not something you can do in 15 minutes to 2 hours. It took me a total of 9 hours with 2 guys changing a clutch. Now that was, you know, not hurrying up. We were just taking our time and getting stuff done, because you got to drop the cross member. You gotta take the bolts out of the bell housing. You gotta take the back drive shaft off. It's easier to take the transfer case off because it's a heavy little bastard when you don't. You gotta take the console out. We don't have to take your console out, but it's easier to get to the top piece that takes your gear shift off. You gotta take the top of the gear shift off. And for some reason mine was stuck in there and we had to pull it out. I know it sounds quick and easy, but it ain't. You actually have to take your exhaust off if yours is in the way like mine was. It's a very time-consuming job. So I love my 5-speed, don't get me wrong, and I do trail ride with it every once in a while, but I'd rather take my automatic out because it's a lot easier to maintenance and it's faster to maintenance, and I can be back out on the trail on the next day. You don't have to listen to me and just my experience and what I like the most and why I like building the automatics, because they're bulletproof. And you know, there was a point where my red Jeep, my mud Jeep that I had, it's for parts now, I've dropped into a swamp. Nobody can get through it. I don't care how big a truck you got. It's just a swamp. It just sucks your vehicle in there and you can't get out. There was a point when I was in that swamp, I wasn't letting off the gas and going from reverse to drive, and it just does it itself. And that transmission today, if you would put wheels on that Jeep, you could go to town in it. There's nothing wrong with the transmission. Yeah, the motor smokes like a freight train, but there's nothing wrong with that AW4 automatic. They are bulletproof. Like I said, every once in a while you get something that ain't very good, but that could be lack of maintenance, or somebody could have burned the you know, the fluid in it, running it low or anything like that. Just make sure you always check your fluid level running in neutral. Always block your wheels, because I've seen people check stuff in neutral and it almost runs over them. Don't be that guy. But anyway, make sure you like this video, and make sure you subscribe to this channel if you want to see more info about your Jeep, or just Jeep videos alone, or how to do stuff. I appreciate all the subscribers that I'm getting now. Make sure you leave anything in the comments below. I'll try to get back to each and every one of you. I'm Cherokee Ronnie, and stay muddy, my friends.